Hey, what's up, guys? I'm BKFC athlete Paige Van Zandt, and you're watching Cage Side with Christopher James.
What happens if you lose, Nick?
Who the hell is Aquaman?
I get Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, I get sausage biscuits. Maybe you guys will see a little footage of that later on because we got some good stuff.
Philip the Deuces. There you go, baby.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Cage Side with Christopher James. I'm Christopher James, and I'm happy to be here with you tonight. It's Championship Friday night, man. We're going to talk to two bare knuckle fighting championship world champions on the show. Real quick, before I do that, just want to remind everybody tomorrow night we got UFC going on, the Halloween show, the final fight of Anderson Silva as he takes on Uriah Hall. So that's going to be a big event tomorrow night, and it's going to be awesome. I hope you guys are watching. I'll be putting up our predictions tomorrow afternoon, but I won't be live streaming along with you guys as I normally do because I'm going to be DJing tomorrow night, Halloween stuff, you know, got to go out and make that Halloween money. Anyway, don't forget, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship 14 is coming up November 13th in Miami from the Intercontinental Hotel. If you can't be in the building, download the app, www.bktvapp.com. You can get it on your Android device, your Apple device, Roku, all the other streaming services. Get it. It's like $3.99 a month. Why would you not have it? Because if you don't have it, you don't get to see my very first guest. This guy, he's been around the world. He's been in Bellator. He's been in the UFC, and now he's taking the world of bare knuckle fighting by storm. He is the undisputed bare knuckle fighting championship heavyweight world champion and the Police Gazette Diamond Belt heavyweight champion. He is the Mexicutioner. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show for the very first time, the one and only Mr. Joey Beltran. Joey, how are you tonight?
Doing well, my man. How are you?
I'm living the dream, man. I'm alive. My wife just made me dinner, you know, and I get to talk to guys like you on a regular basis. So my life is good. So looks like you're at the gym training. I like that. I like to see fighters at the gym training. Means he's always staying ready to go. Before we get into your fights and your career and all that stuff, though, I do want to ask you, because it's, you know, the biggest topic in the world, the pandemic. So give us an insight to your life before the pandemic. So what was the day for Joey like before the pandemic, and what's the day like now for Joey during the pandemic?
Well, I mean, if I think about it, to be honest, the only thing that really what changed up was me teaching group classes. Like normally I wake up in the morning and I have like clients, one-on-one clients starting at like 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, and then I'll cut out and I'll do my own training for a few hours, rest, eat, train again, and then start teaching class like right around 4 in the afternoon. Kind of run through the evening like 4 until like 8. Then I go home and chill. Well, after coronavirus, then all those group classes got cut off. So basically, I mean, there was a lot of time on my hands just fucking sitting around twiddling my thumbs. I was fortunate enough to still maintain a lot of my one-on-one clients, and at the gym that I work at, it's a privately owned. I pay rent, so I mean, you know, I could still do my thing, and I actually did really well during the lockdown as far as financials. I was stacking up money, so not too much as far as the stress in that end. I was fortunate. Training wise, kind of similar. Like I always had access to the gym the whole time. It was just more about like me keeping myself in check and maintaining my own personal integrity as far as maintaining the training and staying on task during the lockdown, because basically, man, lockdown initiated right in the middle of my towards the end of my training camp, because I was supposed to fight April 11th, and I had been going hard since February, and then society kind of shut down March 14th or something like that, and so that sucked. And then I was like, all right, well, I just keep training, and then there was multiple dates that were given to me as far as like when we're gonna fight. You know, first I thought it was gonna be July, then it was gonna be August 9th, and then August 21st, and then June 9/11, and then finally October 10th it happened. You know, so it was you know, I did a really good job staying on task. This one thing I'm proud of myself, and not just completely flying off the handles and just just going to shit with my life and everything. Staying on task and staying motivated, focused.
You know, it's funny because I talked to a lot of fighters, and the one thing that they all seem to key on is, you know, for everybody else has regular jobs, you know, this, that, the other thing is Zoom meeting, but you can't Zoom meeting a fucking fight, you know. So your job is to fight. You can't get on Zoom and just beat people up. That's not going to work. So the thing that I've noticed with a lot of the fighters that I've spoken with is it's been very difficult for them to stay focused on staying in shape and staying on task, as they don't know. You know, a lot of them didn't know if they were going to be fighting again. Then the UFC popped up and started putting on fights. David Feldman and Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship finally figured out a way to get back so their athletes can eat, you know. And to Dana White and David Feldman, I say thank you so much, because, you know, they didn't just provide their athletes with opportunities, but their staff members and commissions and everybody. So everybody's eating because of the fight game. The fight game is the first big thing to come back. So I'm honored to be a part of the fight community. Now, for a guy like you, you know, you've been all around the world. Like I said, you know, in the open, you've been in the UFC, you've been in Bellator, and now you're at the #1 bare knuckle fighting organization on the planet, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Of course, you are their heavyweight champion as well as the Police Gazette Diamond Belt champion. One of the oldest belts still being, you know, given out in combat sports, which has got to be an honor for you. But over your UFC career, your Bellator career, now bare knuckle fighting, which one do you find the most satisfying, both physically and emotionally? Was it MMA for you, or is it now bare knuckle?
I mean, to me, man, it's all been a journey. Like if I look back, like I'm so grateful for going through all those hard times, going through that roller coaster that I was on. Uh, in my well, let me rephrase. Like MMA started off great, man. I was killing it on the regional scene, of course, to make it to the UFC. And then once I got in the UFC, it was just like win one, lose one, win one, lose one, win one, lose one. But they were all like always entertaining fights. I got a reputation for putting on crazy brawls, and so I was always employed, you know. And it's like kind of like earn my job security with my blood, and you know, so it's like. But there's so many other things in my personal life and so many other hardships going through, and you know, that people don't see, and it's fucking very real. And so, but when I look back, it was all to get me to this point, and right now, I enjoy this, and I'm aware, and I'm present. I'm fucking really, really enjoying being the champion, and fucking. But I also am very aware of how it quickly can turn a fucking right hand turn and go back to Loserville. You know, so I don't get a big head. I keep on my grind. You know, I just had a freaking high level Division 1 athlete coming trying to run for me for the last fight. So that was, you know, I'm thank God I was in shape to do that. You know, I outworked supposedly somebody who's such a elite level athlete. Like my fat ass outworked him, you know, and I broke him. So it was like I just have to stay on task, and I know now with the title comes a big target on my back. But I'm enjoying it, man. I really am.
Yeah, and you know, I love your attitude. I've seen you at multiple events. I've talked to you here and there, you know, at different events, even when you weren't fighting. And you've always been chill. You're just like, you know, I'm enjoying this just as much as you guys are, you know, as a fan. You know, you sit back, you relax, you know, some people come up, hey, can I take a picture, champion? You're always willing and you know, stand there and do the picture with the belt and all that stuff. And that's awesome. Some guys in this sport, both bare knuckle, well, not so much as bare knuckle, but it's still so new, but a lot of guys in MMA, some of them don't want to stop and take the picture. They used to be different. Everybody stop, take a picture, get their name out. Now some people don't do that. I like the fact that you've been such top level athlete for so many years. You know, again in MMA with Beltran, now you're the world heavyweight champion. You know, in bare knuckle fighting, you're the baddest man in bare knuckle fighting. I mean, that's it. And yet, you know, you're just like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? You know, you just chill out, you're smiling, you're having a good time. Those are the things I look for in a fighter because they're fighting ability, because the fans are a big part of this. And, you know, fans go buy tickets, buy pay-per-views, make generate revenue, and that's how you get paid. So you handle it all the right way, and for that, I commend you. Some guys don't even bother. I'm the heavyweight champion of the world. Blah blah blah. Yeah. You know, so you're just Joey. You know.
Yeah, man. I mean, I honestly credit that to where I grew up, man. I grew up in Carlsbad, California, and Oceanside. Like, it's like there's always pros. It's like whatever. I'm nobody special. I'm just another pro athlete. That's how I look at it. Like, growing up, like we had Junior Seau. Like, you'd always see Junior in the neighborhood, see him out. And then like my own personal friends. Brett Swain and Brandon Chiller were freaking Super Bowl champions on the Packers. Like, so it's like to me, it's like I can't get a big head. Like I'm just another whatever. I'm just another pro.
And you just made me right in the feelings when you brought up Junior Seau because I'm a New York Jets fan. So there's only one team for me. It always has been my whole life. But there's certain players that have come through the NFL that just they do it for you. And Junior Seau was the motherfucking man. May he rest in peace. But man, I would have killed to meet that guy. I mean, here you are. I'm like, I was in the wrong neighborhood. You brought up your last fight against Marcel Swift, excuse me. And you got the win there, but the judges had him winning the first 3 rounds of that fight. You're not a new guy to this game, so I'm guessing after that 3rd round when you really just turned up and just went to work and finished it, did you know yourself that you were losing that fight?
Nah, man, I was mentally engaged and mentally focused. Like I didn't go there to win rounds. I was gonna finish him. Sure. I knew that I was gonna finish him in the 4th and 5th round, and like not trying to sound cocky after the fact. Like, no, you can. I'll show you. Like, I scripted my fight. Like, I work with a mental coach, and that's fucking what we do. Like, I saw that fight going exactly the way that it went. Like, it took a little bit longer. I thought I would slow him down and catch him by like the 2nd or the 3rd. It took 1 more round. No big deal.
Yeah.
And yeah, I knew that he was going to be fast. He was going to be swift. No pun intended. But like I was marching down, I knew that he couldn't handle that.
Did he did touch you up a few times, I know he did land some, punches. Did any of that affect you? Did you feel any of that? I mean, the guy have
the one that hurt, like he came over the top with a right hand and I thought it popped my cauliflower, but what it did is it hit my cauliflower ear like that and like ripped it from my head. Ooh. So I had to get for that. So when that happened, my head was pumping, bah, 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 like a horn in my head. Wah, 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 wah. So I was kind of like, oh shit, whatever.
Yeah. And I ask you that because you're a big heavyweight. He's a 205, even a middleweight at times. In his career coming up to challenge you. And sometimes those lighter weight guys that come up, claim they have the big power. Some do. Some deliver big.
He hit
power.
hard. Don't get me wrong. He hit hard. Yeah, he hit hard. Like he would.
That's why I wanted to ask. That's why I was getting to.
Yeah.
They don't hit hard. I'm a big guy, but Marcel hits hard. I've watched Marcel drop. And so it's like. And I was honestly shocked when they booked this fight. I didn't expect this one. This one kind of came out of left field. Was that the fight you were expecting, or was there another bout that got sidetracked? Because
I said it like half jokingly, but I was serious. Like at the point I was at, I would fucking fight Christina Ferreira. At that point, like just give me a fucking fight, So middleweight, light heavyweight, I don't give a shit. Like I'm sorry, like people like. It's predominantly like Mark Godbeer fans now. They're harassing me on social media, which is fine. It's funny, but like, oh, you're not gonna get a middleweight this time. I'm like, you think I wanted a middleweight? Like, no, I just wanted to fucking fight. It's not like, oh, I'm in charge of who I fight. For whatever reason, the powers that be thought that he would make an entertaining fight, and he did for a little bit.
He did,
but I just I wore his ass out. So.
Yep, he's got some broken knuckle, I believe. Fight.
Allegedly.
I talked to him after the fight. We were chatting back and forth. I've known Marcel for a while, And he's never bullshit me. He goes, man, he goes, I broke him early. He goes, and they hurt. He goes, that guy's head is so fucking hard. And when I hit him, it's like, your head broke his head.
Nice.
That's awesome. I mean, for you, cranium is the hardest bone on the body, and I see guys in bare knuckle, especially make a mistake of hitting here, like on the top of your forehead. Don't punch me there. I mean, you punch Joey Beltran right here, you're gonna get a broken hand, then Joey's gonna kick your ass, and that's the way it goes. You brought up Mark Godbeer. Mark Godbeer is making a trek across. He's in Abu Dhabi right now. He had to go there from England. It's going to take 2 weeks before he can come to the States. You said it yourself. Everybody wants to see you and Mark Godbeer go. He's ranked number 1 by the Police Cadet Boxing Corporation, which is the sanctioning body for the Diamond Belt. What's your thoughts on taking on that guy? He was a Palomino bare knuckle champion. He earned their belt because he was full of he was like sick of their crap. But he's coming over, and I think he's a word. He's ranked number 1 for a reason. So, what's your thoughts on Godbeer? Before we talk about fighting him, I'm sure you've had to see some video. What's your thoughts on what he brings to the table, just in general, as a bare knuckle fighter?
Honestly, man, he's a big, strong guy, knockout power. But I mean, at the end of the day, I've been fighting big fucking guys that can knock me out for like the last 10 years. So it's nothing new. Nothing new. It really isn't, man. And that's fucking. I'm sorry. It may sound like a dick, but he hasn't shown me anything new. So I'm not really too heavily worried about the fight. I really think, honestly, at this point, like I'm in such a groove, like mentally and spiritually and physically, like it's gonna take somebody really fucking special to take these belts from me. And I just don't think Mark Godbeer is the guy to do it. Like, okay, you got dynamite in your right hand. What else? What else? So I don't know. I've watched enough of his film, and honestly, like I knew Mark Godbeer was for a long time. Like we were in Bellator at the same time. I thought like we might get matched up back then. But whatever, it never happened. So now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely respect this man. I will fucking train accordingly and get ready for hell, like I always do.
And it's funny because I was going to bring this up because I was doing some research today, and I was looking at the time frames. I was going, these guys were in Beltran together, but you beat me to the punch. That I guess that's what you do. You beat everybody to the punch. The breaking news is you said it's going to take me special to beat you. Just so you know, I just signed my contract with BKFC, and I'm coming for the heavyweight belt.
Yeah, well, good for you, buddy. We're all entitled. We're all entitled to have hopes and dreams and goals. And look, at the end of the day, I don't fucking expect these. Like it's so funny. Like I don't expect these guys to be like, oh well, I really hope Joey doesn't beat me up this time. Like we're all like essentially like alpha males. We're all gonna fucking speak with our chest puffed out and say what we want to fucking honestly believe. But I don't give a shit. I really don't. Like I really wish I didn't have to talk and like build up fights. I'm just like just fight, man. We're gonna fight with no gloves. Like, it's the most rawest form. It's the most rawest form of fighting there is. Like, but I mean, I get it. It's part of the job. I'm down. I'll do it. I'll make fun of them and talk shit. Do whatever I gotta do to build a fight. But me and Mark, we're cool. Because we were originally supposed to fight in April, so we were like kind of talking through the COVID on the mirror. We were talking through COVID, like to make sure that they were on like the same page. We both want the fight. We both want the legitimate crown. And so hopefully it happens. Now, I hear a rumor that Mark Godbeer is gonna have to fight fucking somebody else before me. Now that's all assuming that I would assume that he would smash because he's the number 1 guy, right? He should smash everybody. Hopefully he smashes and he gets to me, or else somebody else for me in the first quarter of 2021.
Yeah, I mean, and do you think that's right? I mean, him coming over and getting a fight.
Hey, listen, here's the thing about like Mark Godbeer. titles. Like, okay, I get it. Like, but if you watch that fight, if he won the title from fucking BKB, like he barely beat Mickey Parker. Mickey Parker's like 5'10", 190 pounds. Okay, whatever. Then you move along to fucking Valor. Okay, like Jack May, bless his heart, he's a nice guy, but he's a little chinny. All right, boom. And then when he fought Mighty Mo had fucking literally got his ass beat by Sokachu, came back from the depths of hell and knocked out Sokachu. So it's like he fought a compromised Mighty Mo in the finals and almost got cracked by him. So like on paper you could say he's so deserving of the title, but on paper you could fucking say Sam Schumacher's far more deserving of the title.
Sure.
So
totally understand that. Do you think that, or in your opinion, I mean, not do you think, would you rather them, when he gets here, they book this fight now, or that he does fight the deal first to see if he can get, that one win they want to see and then give him you? Or would you just want to get it out of the way now and just let's go?
I would like to, but it's not up to me. I'm not the boss.
Well, the good thing is, they're watching right now. They're not the fight coming. Yeah. So they're watching. So they're listening. So you guys heard it. Joey wants Godbeard now. He doesn't want to wait for him. What's the point? Let's just make the biggest fight for heavyweight that you can right now, and that's Godbeard versus Beltran. I'm all in. I want to see it, man. I had Godbeard on a couple of weeks ago. He's excited to come over. He's speaking the same way about you. Very respectful of you and what you're top of, which I like. Because he has the same mentality. You don't need to go. We're going to go in there with no gloves on. We're going to beat the crap out of each other.
For real, man.
So, what can you say verbally and give you more than knuckles on your fucking skull? Yeah, I get that. So, hopefully they're going to book that fight, and hopefully, it'll be, possibly before the end of the year, or maybe around Super Bowl time at the latest. I'd rather see it sooner than later because I want to see it in action again. I mean,
yeah, man. I would like to take some Christmas money myself.
There you go. You guys are watching BKFC. Hey guys, you're the case. We are live. Knuckle Fighting Championship, World Heavyweight Champion, and the police. I'm in World Champion. Where we go, He's on the show right now. If you have any questions, drop in the comments. Brito, who's 55 at BKFC.
Thank you.
What do you think about like when guys like Elvin and well, and they high regard, like they know Beltran, and you're gonna have to bring the whole army with you to stop him. And they all have you in that level.
It's good. It's something definitely that in my past, man, I was like be weirded out by it. I'm like a reverse egomaniac. I think I suck, and I think I'm the worst at everything, and I suck, and yada yada yada. But now as I get older, I have a lot more self-love and self-grace, and I'm like, yeah, I am good. Joey, you are good. So it's cool. I'm a little more accepting of those compliments.
And that's good, man. You deserve them, and it's funny that you said you felt back in the day you would have felt weirded out. When I first started ring announcing years ago, I was walking through Walgreens one day, going to get a coffee machine from my boss's office, and this guy comes following me around the store, and finally walked up to him and, can I take a picture with you? And I was like, what the fuck are you? Leave me the fuck alone. It was really weird. Then he told me and everything. I was like, oh, okay. And I took the picture, and I'm nowhere near the level of star that you are. But it was a moment that I kind of understand where you're coming from. It was just weird. Like, I'm just Chris, man. I get a mic and I talk shit on the microphone. I go, So I understand that. But the good thing is, like, even if it's not the fans, that the other athletes recognize you. What do you got going on there? Who are you training right now?
I'm multitasking over here.
You're doing some work with somebody right there?
Oh no, she was just finishing up. You gotta take a picture for Instagram. Remember, if it doesn't happen on Instagram, it didn't happen.
Well, that's the truth, man. If it doesn't happen on Instagram, it's all bullshit, you know. And if you don't have, and if you don't have a filter on when you do it, then it's double bullshit. It's like, you know, or as Khabib says, #1 bullshit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you still follow MMA as a fan and keep up with all that?
Yeah, big
Big
yeah,
fight.
yeah. Well, I mean, like I have like all the streams. Like I bought like I'll buy like big pay per view. Like I bought Khabib. I bought that pay per view. That was a big one. But like I have UFC Fight Pass and like the Zone. So I'm always watching stuff. You know, I was watching Fight Pass last night, and they had a replay of WEC,
Yeah.
and it's like, dude, this guy did this crazy little thing where he was like in side mount, and he like posted and bought a liver shot. I was like, oh shit, that's so cool. Like this fight happened literally like 10 years ago, and I'm still like just picking up stuff. So
And
I'm
that's all right.
always a student of the game. I love watching old fights and
And the fight,
boxing,
the fight game
MMA.
is addicting. It's addicting. Like you want to see the combat. You want to see two human beings step in there and who can best the other one, whether it's in bare knuckle fighting or in MMA or like you said in boxing or Muay Thai. I find myself a lot of time catching on. I've got Fight Pass. I've got the Zone. I've got the One Championship app. I've got the BKTV app. You got the BKTV app?
Hell yeah.
All right, man. That's right. You better, man. What's up? Whatever. Or yeah, guys, and listen, if you want to see Joey fight or some of his past fights, all the content from Bare Knuckle Fighting is on the app, www.bktvapp.com. Download the app, subscribe. It's $3.99 a month. It's less than a cup of coffee, and if you're in California, it's less than a parking meter. Right? I don't know. California is a little pricey, so, but great content. They also carry the content from Toe the Line, content from international bare knuckle shows. This app will become to bare knuckle fighting what Fight Pass is to MMA today. So it's good stuff. How long do you see yourself doing this as far as bare knuckle fighting? I mean, is this something you just kind of go, all right, I'll take the next fight and then see how I feel, or do you have a plan to stick around? You know,
I have a personal goal of 5 defenses, and then peace out.
Yep. What about MMA? Ever MMA fight that would bring you back?
Money, good money. No, I mean honestly, like I did an MMA fight last year or 2018 out in Russia. No, 2019 out in Russia, and it was fun, man. It was real fun. And
Dmitry Tabekin.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I think in terms of like the big promotions, they probably want to see me get another win, and then get a call back or something like that. Or who knows? I mean, I don't really know. But like, it would really have to make financial sense. And like right now, like, and also too, I doubt that fucking Bare Knuckle is gonna let their heavyweight champion go up. That was back before I had the title.
Absolutely.
So they were kind of like lenient with me, let me go out and fight. But
Yeah.
now I don't think they want, their main guy going out and get kicked in the head.
No, I mean that kind of hurt their product. So they're probably not going to do that right now. Here's a question from the people watching. Forrest Daniels wants to know, since it's Halloween tomorrow, his question is, how do you deal with fear in your mind?
Oh, dude, like it used to really, really ruin my performance, ruin everything. Like as far as my training, I would be such a beast in the gym. I was one of those guys, just a fucking monster in the gym. And then when it came to fight night, like I would just get so fucked, like just mind fuck myself, man, for years and years and years. And so now, like, I started working with a mind coach, for a little over a year now. And so we have like strict protocols as far as like what we do leading up to the fight, and to the point where like come fight week, like it's all about enjoyment. It's all about having fun and really, really like I set the tone for the team. Like we're having fun, we're cracking jokes, we're going out to strip clubs, whatever the case may be, whatever town we're in, we're having a good old time. And then like come fight night, like It's just going out there and just performing, like, and but really like being aware that, like, man, I get to fucking go out and fight in one of the biggest promotions in the world on fucking TV. Like, are you kidding me? Like, people work their whole lives for this shit. Like,
That's
it's
true.
not something you know. And I'm prepared, and I'm prepared. I'm more than prepared. Like, I earned my confidence in the gym. You know, I have, like I said before earlier in the interview, I have my fight scripted, like, to the point, and I go over like all these negative situations that could happen, how I'll work out of those situations. And so by the time the fight week comes, all the what ifs and what could happen have already been worked through. So that's long-winded answer is it's a lot of mental preparation before the actual fight.
Yeah, well, that's good. It's good that you. And I don't care if it's a long-winded answer. You know, it's got to be the answer that it describes it all. So I'm glad that you took the time to be thorough on it, and it's cool to hear that you were able to get past those fears. You know, the stuff that was crippling you once you got to fight night, and the success that you're seeing now is a direct result of that. So hats off. I'm looking at your record. You fought guys like Pat Barry. Legend. You fought. You fought Rampage. You fought Stipe Miocic. So you fought some huge name guys. Tell me who, for you, was like the coolest opponent to face out of all the fights you've had over the years. Because you fought Stipe before he was a champion. You fought Rampage after he was the big star in the UFC. So out of all the big names you fought, who's the guy? Who's the one that like just excited you just to be in there with that person?
Nah, nobody.
Cheers.
Nobody, man. I always had the attitude like, fuck this guy. That's always the attitude I had. Like, these motherfuckers ain't nobody. And like, after, like, I would get mad too when people would be like, oh, you fought Rampage. I'm like, I'm mad because that's bullshit. Like, I feel like they stopped it with, like, at the bell. Like, I
Yeah.
wasn't knocked out. I was on my hands and knees and the ref stopped it. Like, that pisses me off to this day. Even though me and Rampage are cool and I've actually helped them get ready for a couple fights after the fact. And we're super cool. We were both sponsored by Monster at the same point in time. So we'd go on like autograph signings and trips.
That's cool.
And so, but yeah, when people are like, you fought Rampage, I'm like, fuck that guy, dude. He got away with one on me.
I love it. Well, we got BKFC 14 coming up. This will be the last thing I ask you on. You don't have to make predictions if you don't want to, but we have two huge title fights. Main event, Allers versus Palomino for the 155 belt. And in the co-main event, it was supposed to be Johnny Bedford versus Dak Gwynn. Johnny injured his back, so it's going to be Reggie Barnett Jr. stepping in against Dak for the interim championship. Care to make a prediction on either of those or one of those or none of those?
The main event to me is a toss-up. It's like you just don't know what kind of game plan they're gonna implement, because they both have shown the fucking like barbarian style, like come forward and kill, come forward and destroy. But they've also both shown like skills, like legitimate boxing skills. So
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know. I'm interested to see what game plan they both show up with that night.
True.
And you know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? Like, so it's like you don't know which version of the guy is going to show up.
Yep.
And what their camps think. It's like a chess match leading up to like what their camp thinks, what Jim Aller's camp thinks. Luis is going to show up and vice versa.
And especially because they know each other and they have history, so they know a little more about each other than sometimes other people that fight each other. I've known both these guys forever. I can't even make a pick on this fight. I just hope at the end of it that they finish and they both walk out under their own power, and then they go drink a beer later and patch up their friends. That's my dream for that fight.
Yeah.
What about the co-main, Gwynn and Reggie? That's
I think I don't know. Like, I want to say Reggie just because of based on bare knuckle experience, but the couple fights that Win has had, he has shown a great ability to transfer his boxing game into the bare knuckle realm. And sometimes you'll see pro boxers not be able to do that. They kind of like, what the fuck? Like, I'm hitting with my bare hand. Or,
Yeah.
it's like, so I don't know. I think if I would have put money, I'd put a small, like, $10 bet on that win.
I like it. You're like a small $10 bet, man. Yeah, I don't gamble, so I get $10. All right, I can do that. Well, listen, champ, it's been an honor to chat with you tonight, man. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day while you're working at the gym and everything and training people. I do appreciate it. All the respect in the world to you, man. I love watching you fight. And I hope that your plan that you want worked out for you. 5 title defenses, and then or maybe
Yep.
6. Maybe a 6th one too. Somebody might show up that you go. You know what? I got to fight this fucker before I leave. Because they are bringing a lot of big talent, so you just never know who's going to show up next.
Exactly. I'll give you the answer. Like I tell my family, like, Joey, when are you gonna stop fighting? I'll stop fighting when I suck. When I suck, I'll stop.
All right. Well, listen, you want to give out your social media for people to follow? Take the time to do that now, and we'll let you get out of here.
Yeah, man. You can follow me on what is that? Joey Beltran _MMA on Instagram, Twitter, Mexicutioner760, TikTok, The Real Mexicutioner760, and that's it.
That's it. Well, listen, man, thank you so much for taking time. Like I said, stay safe. God bless. Continue to do what you do, man. I'm glad to see you happy and having a good time doing this. And as I said, thank you for being honest about the fear thing and talking about it, because a lot of guys don't. And I respect the hell of you for just being real about that, and people watching and listening, might learn something from you on how to deal with fear. So, it's not just fun here; it's educational. So,
Yeah.
Joe, you have a good
All
night.
right, my man. Bye-bye.
Thank you. All right, guys. Well, we're partying, man. And before I bring on my next guest, let me just pop this on you real quick.
Hi guys, I'm Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship heavyweight fighter Mark Godbeer, and you're watching Cage Side with Christopher James.
That is Mark Godbeer, and if everything goes right, he's going to be taking on the man we just spoke to, the Mexicutioner Joey Beltran, in an event here, hopefully at maybe BKFC 15 or possibly 16 at the latest. My next guest is in the green room. He's checking himself out right now. He's making sure he's all pretty. I see everything. He's smiling now because he can hear me and he knows. But this guy, what I said to Joey about wanting both of them to walk out under their own power and, hopefully, go get a beer and hang out after and, get the friendship back. I've known both these guys for a long time. Last night I had Jim Allers on the show. Tonight we're going to talk to his opponent. He is the reigning, undisputed at this point, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship 155-pound champion, the former XFC lightweight champion, the second XFC lightweight champion. He beat me, I forgot it. So anyway, but he is an awesome guy. He's a lot of fun. And just like Jim said last night, he's a family man. He does the right thing in the community. And we all love this guy. Please welcome to the show, Luis Baboon Palomino.
What's up, my brother?
Oh, I'm living the dream. How are you today, man?
Good, man. Doing great.
Good stuff, man. So, Joey Beltran couldn't pick your fight. I'm guessing you could hear him in the green room while you were waiting.
Yeah.
He couldn't predict your fight. I'm going to be honest. I can't predict your fight, and I'm not going to predict your fight. I'm just not going to. I love, you know how I feel about you. You know how I feel about Jim.
Yes,
I just want you both to walk out under your own power and hopefully get the friendship going back again now. However, it is business, and this is a fight.
yes,
So Jim came on the show last night, and we talked about the fight, and he made a comment on there that Eric Kowal from My MMA News actually put in an article on the Bare Knuckle website where Jim said, him giving you a title fight in the first place, he would blessed you with a title opportunity, so early in your Bare Knuckle career. Before you answer that, because I want to know your reaction to when he said that.
Say that again, that he blessed me.
Yeah, hang on. But before you answer that, I do want to say, because in his defense, at the end of his interview last night, he spoke very highly of you. I want to tell you exactly what he said. He said, Luis is been around a long time. He's a good fighter. He's tough. He brings it every time. He's an excellent family man. He's a great father to, his kids and everything else. And he's a great human being. with that being said, because he did say that, so and you know, and I know he meant it, and I know you probably feel the same way about him because you see him in the community. But this is the business, and this fight in particular, you guys got a little hostile with each other. You know, he said some stuff, you said some stuff, but he did say last night on my show that you know, you coming in because you beat Elvin and then you got a title shot. So he said he blessed you with the opportunity for a title shot. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, you know, to get back to what you were just saying, yeah, you know, like the respect wasn't always, you know, has been, you know, mutual as far as in a person, an individual, you know,
Sure.
family man, you know, team person, you know, a good man, he's a good person, you know. But this whole blessed talk, please, with the blessed talk, you know, like, look, the only one that's blessing my way is Lord, the Almighty. You know, the only one that blesses where I'm going is Him. Nobody else blessed me other than God. You know, this dude talking about that he blessed me, no, all he did was say no opportunity was given to him. He was given the same opportunity that was given to me, opportunity that he earned himself, no doubt. He earned it, you know. And I was, like I say in every interview, I was one of the guys that was always waiting for him to get that title shot that he desperately, you know, asked for. And finally, when the time came, you know, he decided to make his decision because his corner, his trainer, ended up catching COVID. I can understand. I don't even judge his reasons. I don't judge his decision, but it was his decision not to step into the title fight when I did. And you know, what's his name, stepped up and we, you know, we made work with him. Yeah, we made work with him. We took the title and I earned it. You know, it's like this, man. It's, you know, like we say over here in Miami, closed mouths don't get fed around here, man. You know, I came into the show not like begging for a title shot or even expecting a title shot. I came into the show in a tournament. The tournament was 3 fights. I knew that I was going to go to 3 fights and end up as a champion after that tournament was over. That was the plan. So it's not like I'm not deserving or nothing. He's the one that decided to give me the, you know, to give me the space to take the shot earlier. And that was not because he said, I'm going to bless Palomino and give him this title shot. No, he just decided to say, you know what, my trainer has COVID and I cannot perform without him in my corner, or whatever way that he says it. Like, you know, I can understand what he says, where he wants to share that moment with his trainer. And I got to understand that. I respected that when he made a decision. I had no problem with the decision. But
Sure.
his trainer,
let me
the end of
just,
the day, it's going to be only 2 people in the cage.
and on top of wanting his coach there in corner, which I understand as well, he was also being proactive in making sure that he didn't, you know, if he'd had COVID, because he'd been exposed with his coach all that time training, that he didn't bring it to Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, you know, because he didn't want any of you guys, other athletes.
Oh, please. Oh, please, Chris, please, man. Please.
I'm just telling you what he said.
Look, I know what you're saying, because it's your job to pull out all the facts, right? So since you're spitting out facts, let's pull out the rest of the facts, right? We're talking about 4 weeks before the fight, man. 4 weeks before the fight. You can get tested, you can pass through this shit, you'll be okay. Like, get out of here with that. And then the whole thing about, you know, I live with my parents because I help them, I take care of them, which is great. I honor that, you know, and I respect that. You know, if my parents were older and they needed my help, I would live with them too and take care of them. And I wouldn't want to bring that stuff around them and all that. But in the same time, he's saying that in doing these things, he's teaching group classes in his gym. Like, come on, man. I kept seeing the videos. I kept seeing the videos of him doing his classes, and I'm like, so which one is it? You're contradicting yourself over here, you know?
Yep. No, and that makes total sense. And excuse me, you know, so all that happened, then, you know, he was carrying around his belt, which, you know, and he told me on the show last day, he goes, I know it's not the real belt, but he does like to wear it because, and I'm just going to tell you, you know, I see you when you see him with it. And I remember seeing you up close and personal in the XFC, and a look in your eyes that, you know, like you're fucking mad and somebody's getting smacked. And when he walks around anywhere near you with that belt, that look comes over your face, Luis. Does it really make you that? And I see it. Like I said, I've known you a long time, and I can see that look. Like you're pissed. I mean, are you as pissed as your eyes are telling us, or is you're somewhat pissed? Because I'll be honest, if it was me, I'd be pissed off. I'd be like, yo, motherfucker.
No. Look, I'll tell you the truth. Look, just so you can understand where I'm coming from, okay?
Absolutely.
Not pissed at all. Look, growing up in high school, people would get into fights with me because they thought that I was mad dogging them. I was staring. Why are you staring at me? If I'm not smiling, it looks like I'm mad at somebody. That's just my facial expression. And I've gotten into many street fights because somebody thought I was looking at them the wrong way. So it's like, I don't want to say that I'm mad at that. If anything, because I laugh at it. You know, to me, it's funny. To me, it's ridiculous. But to get me mad that he's wearing a fake belt, nah, man, that didn't make me mad. It made me laugh, if anything, you know. But I am in a fight sense in my head. You know, the moment that I sign a contract or I'm told you're fighting this dude, there is no more smiles from me. You know, you're not gonna get that type of energy off of me. And I don't care if you were my friend and we lived together or whatever it was. You're just not gonna get that type of energy out of me. So that might misinterpret my feelings, you know, because I've fought all my life because of that misinterpretation of me being mad or looking at somebody bad. No, you know, I've always like had this intimidating look to some people that take it in the wrong way. But no, mad? Nah, I'm not mad at that. If anything, I think it's ridiculous and it's funny. If anything.
Yeah, because like I said, I've seen you, you know, that face you're talking about. But I've also, like I said, because I saw you at the XFC, and I remember a couple times you were aggravated, and there was a different look of pissed off on your face. And like when I saw you at American Top Team in Coconut Creek, when you guys got into the argument and the whole, you know, shoving, pushing, a little headbutt right in there, that was a quick move by the way. I mean, I didn't expect that. I do happen to like that you guys did that because all the highlight reels, I'm in it. So I'm getting some FaceTime. So thank you for doing that.
There's nothing like the truth, man. There's nothing like the truth. Look, if you look at the video, right, and I come to the mic, I'm laughing. I'm literally laughing. I'm like, hey, I only got one question. What's up with that fake ass belt over there? I was laughing about
both were laughing. Even when you guys got face to face, you both were laughing. You were talking shit. And he's like, well, yeah, you know, we can do this. And you're over here going, yeah. And
that's the thing, though. That's the thing.
Your brother was more pissed off.
Yeah, because we're laughing. I'm laughing until the point that he starts to say the wrong things where, like, you can talk about my record and talk about, I don't care. The point is when you start saying things like, we can do it right now. We have the lights on our pay-per-view.
He did say that.
Middle, and then get in my face and put your forehead in my face. Now you're asking for something, man. You know, so in that moment, I give him a love tap. I could have broke his nose if I wanted to. I've done it plenty of times in the past. You know, getting jumped. I start off with that, break the nose with the other guys. So I could have done that. I didn't do that. I went on my tippy toes. I wish it was cameras on my feet. I went on my tippy toes to make sure I hit him on the forehead, like a little tap, like, hey, back the fuck off, you know? And the reason my brother was mad was because there's a little midget next to him trying to kick me, trying to push me. Like, brother, who are you over here? It's not like there's a twin baboon next to me trying to jump this dude. It's a one-on-one thing over here. I don't know who the hell you think you are, where you came from, for you to think that you could even do anything to me, you know? And I would love to see that reaction with him face to face with me, that kid that was with him. I have no idea who it is. He had no place there. There's a man-to-man thing, one-on-one thing. Nobody else is doing it. If my brother would have done something, I could understand the guy stepping in. But who the hell was that punk? And he was way out of place, cursing more. He got more mad than Jim did. It's like, what are you, his bodyguard? Like, you know, what's going on over here?
You know what we should have done? We should have let him and your brother fight each other right there, and you and Jim could have cornered him right there live.
My brother would have just slapped him to death with one arm, bro. Like,
I don't care about the result. I'm just saying maybe, you know, we should just let them go. I go, you're heated. Let's go. Right. Represent your fighter by fighting.
Yeah, out of here, man. Get out of here with that.
But yeah, like I said, I was there for that, and then I saw that Bare Knuckle brought you guys together with their reporter. My brain's farting right now, Brian, and they had you guys at a table. I only saw a clip of it. I haven't seen the whole interview yet. I asked Jim about it last night. He said he hasn't even seen the whole interview finished yet. What was that like for you? You know, after the headbutt incident at ATT, and you know the back and forth that's been going on between the both of you. You know, and you both, you know, you say your stuff, he says his stuff. You know, and you know, I asked Jim last night if this was like, you know, if you guys were just doing this to sell the fight, and he said no. He goes, you know, we have some, you know. Listen, well, you know, some guys, you know, will do stuff like this.
Yeah.
And so it's not an off-the-wall question, but I know both of you, and I can't see Jim doing that. And even if Jim wanted to do that, I can't see you doing that because that's not you. That's not the real Luis Palomino. If it's gonna be a back and forth social media war or shit talk, it's gonna be because it's coming from here from you because this is how you feel in that moment, and that's it. I don't think you could script it. I don't think you could fake it. Like you would start trying to fake being mad. You'd be like, "Listen here, motherfucker." I think that's what would happen to you because you would know it's like WWE fake, and you can't do that.
Yeah. Look, man, there's a reason why this is the most talked about fight from Florida in a long time. And I'm not talking about like just right now. In a long time, you haven't heard of a fight so hyped, so like Miami based, like so much people from Florida, like it's being heard all over. But in Florida, it's huge. This fight is big.
It's in Miami, so I mean,
and there's a reason behind that. Everything is happening for a reason. There's a truth behind it. There's nothing staged over here. It's as organic as it can be. And
that's what we like.
Yeah, we're just going with it.
Real sells better than fake. So I mean, now I asked Jim, last night, and I'm gonna guess you would have the same answer as far as like, how do you see the fight going? Jim obviously sees himself winning the fight. You obviously see yourself winning the fight. I asked Jim what happens after the fight, and his quote was, "Well, once the fight's over, I'll go over there and wake him up, smack him around a little bit, get him to wake up from being asleep, and then I'll pick him up, we'll hug, and we'll go drink beers and talk about the fight." That's his vision of what he sees happening.
Well, he's practically repeating what I said first. That's what I said. I said, "Hey man, after this, we just have a beer, man. We'll be good." That was my idea from the beginning. And no matter what happens, man, look, I'm not a person that holds grudges. This is a fight in the end of the day, And I'd rather have this animosity, this energy, than a person trying to be fake and friendly before a fight. Like, we're about to fight, my brother. Like, I want to hurt you. You want to hurt me. Let's keep it real. Let's get this job done. And then we have a beer and talk about how it went and whatever it went. That's it.
Yeah. I don't want to be friends with somebody I'm fighting. I just don't. Like, even if you guys didn't have the social media beef going on and some of the stuff that you both have said to each other that, maybe after the fight, you guys will look back and go, "Hey, man, I shouldn't have said that." And you guys might go, "Hey, I shouldn't have said that," But it happened. It came in the moment. It was, like you said, organic. So, and the reason I was asking about that, because what's your thought? Scott Farley, who is from GOAT Combat Agency, he's a management group, actually just signed Jim, but he wants to know, do you think you both will squash this afterwards? I mean, is that what you want after?
I've had some serious fights in my past. I'm probably 45 fights, professional. And I've always been the person to come, hug my opponent, say some things to them or say some words, have a beer. I don't hold grudges. I don't have nothing to hate Jim about other than pulling in my job, getting in there, putting him to sleep, and waking him back up. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, and the reason I think the world wants to know this question ahead of the fight is because, like you said, you've always done that with your opponents. After the fight, whatever, you go talk, we have a beer, blah blah. But you and Jim have probably more of a history than a lot of the other people you fought because you did train together, you spent time together, you came up on the Miami scene together. You were in it a little longer, so at some point, you were probably in some form or fashion, whether spoken of or unspoken, a mentor, somebody to watch, because you came up a little bit before Jim did.
Yeah.
So and there was probably more of a personal relationship there than maybe even you guys have shared with the public. So particularly with this fight, is it important to you that after it's over that you guys do, shake hands and make for lack of a better term, kiss and make up, because it was a good friendship and a training relationship, and on top of that, are you also a little upset with you and maybe with Jim for letting it get overly personal about some things because of the friendship?
Not at all, man. Not at all. Look, like I told you, you can't go wrong with the truth. Look, let's be completely honest over here, Chris. As you say, man, we know each other for a very long time.
Yeah.
I've had interviews and haven't touched this subject as deeply as I'm touching it with you now. Let's be honest, right? Years back, we go back. I did start earlier. I have fought bigger names than he has. I've been in bigger wars than he has. Okay, I've been around longer than he has, and I'm older, right? And
wait, hold on. Let me interrupt that answer for 1 second. Yo, from Pablo Alfonso watching the show, man. XFC back
baby.
Right here.
XFC, man.
Oh, that hurt. I hit the microphone. Man, we had some good times at the XFC, and Pablo was definitely a part of that, man. He's up in Idaho now, right?
Yeah, he is.
All right, we'll talk about him later. Bye, Pablo. Just keep watching. We'll talk to you in a minute. Crazy motherfucker moving up to high.
So like I was saying, you know, look, let's be real, right? Let's go back in the days. We trained, you know, a couple of years. We met a very good a person that became. Well, I met Josh Saman, right? May he rest in peace. And this was an amazing individual, man. This was an amazing person, amazing training partner. I had the luxury of sparring with such a big monster a few times and hanging out with him, have drinks with him. And through him, I met, you know, he brought in Jim Aders and the owner of Combat Night. What's his name?
Mitchell.
Mitchell
Shamali.
You know, yeah, and a few other guys, you know, and
him and Josh Saman, they were all
Josh Saman was the man, you know, and because of Josh, you know, we ended up meeting in Jim. But let's be real, all those years ago, Jim and I probably saw each other in fights, like in organizations, right? A fight going on, Combat Night and whatnot. We trained, but when have we ever, like, I got Jim's phone number not too long ago, like before BKFC, before I joined BKFC, like all those years, he was never a person that I say, hey Jim, let's go hang out, or let's go have a drink, or we sat down in the same house and watched the UFC fights, which is something that I always do with close people. It was never like that, you know. We were friends, we were training partners. That's as far as it goes. Like we didn't have a close friendship and we were homeboys and then we had numbers and we exchanged. Sure. It wasn't like that. So for me to enter a fight in the tournament, it was very simple. Look, Rick Lamas and I always talked about the day that I would go to UFC, right? And Rick Lamas was like my brother. Like Rick Lamas is my brother. Rick Lamas is like if we grew up in the same house. That's a different relationship. And I would still fight Rick Lamas if I had to, if I would have been in the UFC. And we talked about it and we say, oh, we'll have a beer after, whoever wins, blah, blah. You know, but I never got that deep with Jim. That's the truth, the honest truth. So I don't have nothing, just not like, oh, he went too far in the talk, in the back and forth talk and hearing my feelings. There's nothing like that because you got nothing to hurt. You know?
And you know, and I'm glad you brought that up because, you know, I actually didn't get a chance to bring that up that way to Jim last night. And I think, you know, a lot of the public out there, including myself, you know, based on the fact that you guys have both talked about training together and, you know, doing stuff together, we assumed that maybe the friendship was more than just a gym friendship and, you know, a business friendship.
If anything, you know how
that's probably why everybody's always going, you know, it's so personal.
If anything, you know how they say you don't know nobody until you fight them, you know? If anything, I believe that after we fight, we will be a closer friendship than we ever were.
Oh, I agree with you. That seems to happen with everybody. I mean, like, it's one of my favorite things about this side of the combat sports world with bare knuckle fighting now and from MMA. Most guys after an MMA fight, they become friends, you know? I mean, some of them become best friends. Carla Esparza and Felice Herrig fought at the XFC. Carla beat Felice years later. And right after that fight, they started training together. They're like the best of friends, you know. Felice just had knee surgery. Carla flew to Chicago to be there at her bedside. You know, Carla has something on. Felice flight. I mean, they're always with each other. You know, then they both went to the Ultimate Fighter House together. They're both in the UFC. Carla became the champion. I mean,
you get a different level of respect for each other, you know.
But yeah, but now they're like, you know, before it was like we want to punch each other, and now it's like we want to hold each other. You know, it's such a crazy way to become friends with somebody. It's like you know, getting jumped into a gang in essence. You know, you want to be you're gonna fight me first, motherfucker, and then we know who you are. So. You know, I never thought about it like that till I just said it because I remember, you know, I was watching a movie earlier where I saw somebody get jumped in a gang and fucking, I never understood that, man. Fucking, that's why I didn't join any gangs. You know,
me.
Yeah, fuck that shit, man. I don't want to get beat up to have to fucking prove my friendship, man. I'm your friend. If I could accept it or not, motherfucker. If it comes down to I gotta stand next to you and fight a bunch of other assholes, I'm there. That's who I am. You know, fucking you. If my boy walks in, and you know, I'm not a badass, so when I say this, everybody watching, don't misconstrue what I'm saying. But if one of my friends got, you know, into an altercation and he had to walk into a circle of 8 guys who were going to fight him, I would walk in there with him and take the beating with him. That's just the way I am. It's not smart, but it's just the way I was raised. You know, I work in a club.
Real friendship.
I work in clubs, you know, and we got bouncers. You know, I worked with these guys a long time. They're all big monster motherfuckers. But if they walk out the door for a fight, I run out the DJ booth. I'm right behind them. I always get yelled at for it. Like, go play the music. I'm like, my nature is to follow them out and make sure it's all good. You know, I mean, like, you know,
a real friend.
I'm sure they feel safer with my scrawny little ass there. They don't, you know, but they do respect that I'll walk out the door with them. So, you know, and That's just fun. It's just funny. That's just life. That's just how it is. So November 14th, Miami, Florida.
13th.
Oh, 13th. 13th. Yeah. November 13th. It's BKFC 14. That's why I keep fucking up the number.
Yeah.
It's at the Intercontinental Hotel in Miami. This is without a doubt the biggest hometown fight you've ever had in your life. And you've been, PFL, but I don't remember. I don't remember them ever, or WSOF. You were there actually when it was there. I don't remember them ever having a big, huge event where you were the main event in South Florida. Because I don't think you fought. Did you fight Gaethje? Was it in Florida?
No, when I fought Gaethje, I fought him in his city twice.
So you were out in Colorado or Arizona?
Arizona, yeah.
Yeah. So this is
I headlined many fights here in Florida, but
not on this level.
Never in a setting like this with somebody from Florida. That man, Chris, remember back in those days, XFC, all those small organizations, right? Nobody wanted to fight me.
Nope.
They would always fly somebody in. CFA, like they always fought somebody in
because nobody in South Florida wants to fight you.
To fight me, like I never fought a hometown guy.
Nope. But not just a hometown guy that's got a good following of his own, but you're in the most prominent bare knuckle fighting organization on the planet today, and this is for a world title. Plus, the Police Gazette world title is now going to be offered up to you guys as well. That's a diamond belt. This is epic. So, biggest fight of your career, with so much on the line. Does it excite you at home, or do you feel a little pressure? Because, I'm sure, even though the attendance is limited, I'm sure people go, hey, man, give me a ticket, man. Hey, man, give me a ticket. Hey, man, give me the code for the app. Hey, man, do this for me. Hey, so I know that goes on, especially in a hometown fight. It's almost better to fight on the road in the biggest fights of your life, I think, because you do have that. But you also have the opportunity, if you choose to do so, to sleep in your own bed at night. You don't have to stay at the fighter hotel, especially if it's in your hometown. So, unless they got a nice fancy hotel, then take the fucking hotel, but, if you feel better in your routine in your bed, you can go do that. So those are the benefits, I'm seeing your family and sitting down for a normal, family time that you do every day, whatever your daily routine is. The only thing that's going to be different is instead of going to the gym on fight night, you're going to the arena and fighting. That's it. Yep. So, but do you feel a little more pressure, or do you feel a little more comfortable, or is there a little bit of both?
No. I want to be honest, truthfully honest with you, man. Pressure, none, bro. None, man. If anything, is happiness. It's an excitement. It's like an anxiety for it to happen already. Like I want to be there. I enjoy my time in the ring, in the cage, in the square circle. I enjoy my time in there, and there's nothing more than doing it. In front of my family, my friends, my fans, hearing your name so loud. And being challenged with such a tough opponent. This Jim's a tough opponent. He's just the toughest to come. He's hardcore. He can take a hit. He moves forward. He's looking to knock you out with every single punch he throws. So I welcome that challenge, because that's what I live for, man. This is what brings the best out of me. It's when somebody good comes at me and is looking for me. When normally, I go out looking for that exchange, and people just want to, take me down and hold on to me and nearly whisper in my ear, like, stop hitting me.
Oh my God. You said whisper in my ear. Jim brought up something on the show last night. I got to tell you, because I'm sure you'll find it funny. Jim goes, we were talking about guys that think they know how to, because somebody asked a question about, what do you think about guys walking in off the street and acting like, well, I did karate when I was 7, so, I can do this bare knuckle thing. Or he goes, it's like people walking into my gym and tell me they can, beat anybody in here, and I put them in there with a one stripe white belt and watch them get smoked. Or once in a while, I'll go in there myself and I'll start taking them down and getting them all pretzeled up, and I'll whisper in their ear, "This is just like prison," and I'm going, "Oh my God, Jim's fucking crazy," because he's like, "We were in prison."
Yeah, that's pretty messed up. That's pretty fucked up.
And it's terrifying to even think though that somebody can control you like that, and but just the funny, it's funny, like you just broke. I was like, oh my god, Jim, the whisper in the ear thing totally reminded me, and I was like, do you do that to people when you get them on the ground and you're in a real fight, in an MMA fight, and you're like not just at the gym fucking with people, but like have you you get somebody on the ground, you're choking and go, if we were in prison, I'd fucking fuck you, or something fucked up crazy like that.
That's just messed up. But grappling is not my thing, man. I'm a black belt, under Sensei de Nova Verde. I did my fair share of jiu-jitsu for a very long time. I think good 10 years nonstop, man, twice a day. I did good, but it's just not my style, not my thing,
No, you're a striker. We all know you're a striker. Your hands and feet, those are your best weapons. And in bare knuckle, you only have your hands. So, that's it. We're going to see you do what you like to do best, punch people in the face, and Jim, let me ask you this, and, take out the relationship with Jim and the whole leading up to your fight thing. And I know you just said Jim's tough. Jim comes forward, but I've told Jim since he got there, I'm so surprised to see him come out and bang the way he's been banging, in bare knuckle, because in the UFC, he didn't do it, and he brought up something last night. He goes, I'm one of those guys, because he loves to watch fights. He goes, if I'm in the crowd and they're on the ground working, and I'll be the first guy to yell, stand them up. I'll go, you can't yell stand them up because you didn't stand up when you were in the UFC. But so it's always shocked me because other guys that have trained with him told me Jim's strong and Jim's powerful and Jim can strike, but he always felt more comfortable and confident in being able to secure wins with his ground game because he felt it was superior to a lot of guys, and he was right a lot of the time. But imagine if he has been striking like this when he was in the UFC, right?
Yeah, complete different career.
Wow. I told him, I said, yeah, and they're watching because they're paying attention to what bare knuckle's doing, so who knows? He might get another call from them one day, after he's done at bare knuckle, because he's still young enough. And I would like to see that for him, just go in there and go, all right, motherfuckers, you thought this was now.
I believe he will.
Were you surprised? Were you surprised to see him strike the way he is?
I think in his heart, I don't really believe that he's done with MMA. This just comes from me, right? Because he's such a good grappler, I agree. Good wrestler, and now he discovers this missing piece that he never had. He discovers it in bare knuckle because he was forced to bring it out. He was forced to bang away and find out that, hey, I do have some power. I can put some people away. I can, strike with these dudes,
Yeah.
And I think that in his heart, I don't, from what I believe, I don't think that he's completely done with MMA. I believe that once I put him to sleep and he realizes that I'm here and I'm not going anywhere, he gets an offer, he'll go back to MMA.
Yeah, I like it. Threw the put him to sleep line in there and send him back to MMA. When he brought up the line about, after I wake him up, when the fight's over, we get up, it's funny how you guys were both so smooth and sliding that kind of comment. But I don't know if you actually answered. Were you just as surprised as everybody else to see Jim turn into this fighter in bare knuckle? Because, I mean, wow, right?
Definitely. Like I said, man, I was rooting for him. He was a friend.
Of course.
I'm training partner, and then to see him evolve, hey, there he goes. You had it all this time, you finally pulled it out the hat. There you go, and I was one of the ones rooting for him to get that title shot he was asking for. I was there. It was great.
I bring it up every time I talk to him. Next time I talk to him, I'm not even going to bring it up again. Then I'm surprised because I can't be surprised about it anymore because now he's been doing it. But it really was just. I was like, when I was there at his debut, and I'm in the crowd and I'm watching it, and I'm covering for my website, and I'm watching. I'm going, all right, man, what's going to happen here? And he walks out there, and it was over. I was like, was that Jim Allers? That was the first thing, and I said it to myself loud in my head. I was like, was that Jim Allers? What the fuck did I just see? Because I was so fucking shocked. He was so happy after the fight. It's crazy, man. It's what I do love is that two guys that I know, I respect, and I care about. More than just interviewer to interviewee or ring announcer to fighter I announced. Because I've had the honor to announce both of you in different venues. But the fact that you guys are you're still killing it. You're still performing at a top level. And now this sport came along, and you guys are both finding, another life, and getting notoriety and respect. And, you've got a world championship around your belt or around your waist. And, Jim's coming for it, but right now it's yours. And, of course, you earned it. You went in there and fought. They said, this is the guy you got to fight for the title. All right, fuck it. I fought him. I beat him. I'm the champ. Case closed. But to see the success for you guys that I've watched, for years come through, and fought for peanuts. Sometimes probably literally peanuts and a pizza. I don't even know, man. Back in the day, there were some fights, you were lucky. Maybe they fed you after a fight. So the fact that you guys are doing this, and, I know David Feldman, I'm not saying he's paying, millions of dollars to people, except for Paige Van Zandt, but he's paying athletes what I believe is a really fair share, and a lot better than if you're doing MMA at the same level. So happy, for both of you guys to have that success. And, like I said to Jim last night, I said to you a minute ago, I will not be predicting this fight. I predict all fights, but I won't predict this one. I just want, may the best man win that night. Both of you walk out after on your own power and, go share a beer together and, fucking, maybe blaze a fucking fat one. I don't know, man. Whatever it is after fight. Now, have a CBD gummy or something. I don't know. But, that's what I hope. But I do know that one of you is going to win, one of you is going to lose. Yep. I do know that that night the world is going to win because we're going to watch two savages, go at, you guys might be the first two guys to stand when they bring you, how they bring you to the center. Foot on the line, all right, toe the line. And, David Feldman wants people to just stand right there and scrap it out. Don't move back. Don't go to the rope. Just stand right there until somebody falls. You guys might be the first two to actually stand there and not, because you don't back up in a fight. Jim is not going to back up in a fight. So it's really going to come down to the will and who really, this fight might be over very quickly for either one. For either one of you, it could be 30 seconds. It could be fucking 3 minutes. It might take 2 rounds, but I have a feeling most of that fight is going to be contested on that toe the line on the logo, right there in the middle of the ring. And for that, I'm thanking you in advance because I already know we're going to get a show, So one more thing before I let you go. What does it mean to you to be with Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship so early in their development? And they are exploding. They are the fastest growing combat sport right now in the world. You're at the top organization of it in the world, and you are their world champion. So you are going to be a part of some pretty important firsts and histories. You're the first one to be a 155 at BKFC as a belt holder. So that can never be taken away. What does that mean to you to be the first, and being part of this? Really, we're 14 shows in, so this is still the beginning. There's going to be so much more growth, but you're here at the beginning, as close to the beginning, as you could have gotten, So what does that mean to you?
I have a big thing with being first on things, it's always been a big part of my life, right? Where I want to be first on that, I want to be the first to do this. And, I just thank God that I finally found a sport that was really made for me, I want to thank Dave, for his dream. It's his dream to bring this sport out, bring it from the rugged streets, from the, the yards to being broadcasted the way that we are right now.
Worldwide.
I want to thank his vision, and I want to help his vision go to that next level that he sees. I want to be a part of that. I'm already, grateful that I have the opportunity, that I got the opportunity to become a champion. I took this belt. I'm here to defend it. It's not going away anytime soon. I do see myself retiring, as an undefeated, world champion in bare knuckle. That's the way that I see it going, because I'm more focused than ever. I have the best team I've ever had in my life. I have the best partner I've ever had in my life. So it's I just don't see a way that I can lose against anybody out there. And I want to be able to be a part of helping Feldman see his dream through. After running over Jim, because Jim is the biggest obstacle right now. Jim is gonna, like he says, he's gonna make my belt, my championship, more legit once I take him out of the way. Once I take Jim out of the equation, You know, I just want Dave to know it and the world to know that I'm not the type of fighter that wants to be taken care of by, you know, an easy fight. I want to be taken care of because I want to fight the toughest, biggest name possible. I want the biggest name possible. The biggest boxer, young, I don't care who they are, the biggest UFC, Bellator, ONE FC, I don't care. The biggest, the most known name that you can get me, that's who I want to fight next. So I can.
You want the big name, big challenge.
Masses, you know, I that's what I want. I want the biggest challenge with the biggest name possible.
That's awesome, man. You know, it's I don't know. He was watching earlier when I was talking with Joey, so they still might be watching. And I'm sure if he didn't hear that today, you know, I'm going to tell him to go back and look at this interview and, you know, catch the last couple minutes of it, because I think he loves to hear things like that, you know, and he gets a lot of that from his fighters, that they want to fight with him. They want to do this with him. They want to be part of this with him because he fought so hard to make this opportunity for them that they feel they need to help him go up and up and up, you know, and ascend the levels. And, you know, there's a great core group of fighters right there that he has now that are truly delivering for him. So, you know, he couldn't be happier. This is, you know, and if COVID hadn't come along, you know, who knows how far along would be with it already. So, you know, maybe the COVID was a blessing in disguise because they were skyrocketing fast. So maybe this gave him time to, you know, refocus on some stuff and just make sure everything's rolling, because when they did come back, they were planning on coming back strong, and they have, you know, they're delivering a show a month, and, you know, they're going to start doing 2, you know, including the Total Line fights that Nate Shook is the president of. So it's an awesome time to be in bare knuckle and, you know, champ shit right there, bro. Champ shit. You know, the first one, nobody will ever be able to take that away. You know, even if Jim beats you, it doesn't matter. I know you're going to say no, but I'm just saying, even if Jim beats you, it doesn't change the fact that you were the first, you know, one in history. 50 years from now, you know, they look at the record books, and it's going to be Luis Palomino, the first bare knuckle fighting championship official 155-pound champion. So that's awesome, because, you know, 50 years from now, that's going to really mean something, because there's going to be, you know, the evolution of this. It might take over everything. Who knows?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So putting your name in the record books, you know, that's what gangsters do. Listen, brother, thank you for taking the time to chat with me tonight, man. So happy to get to catch up with you before this fight. I'll see you in Miami, of course. And I might have to walk out of the arena during the main event. That's how much I care about both of you guys, man. It sucks. You know, don't get me wrong. I want to see the fight, but I don't want to see the fight. You know, it's like
I get you.
People were talking about Mike Perry and Nico Price maybe fighting because Robbie Lawler dropped off. So a lot of Florida people have always wanted to see that fight. I'm one of them that wants to see that fight, but it's the same feeling I have with you and Jim. I love both these guys. You know, I've announced Mike. You know, I've hung out with Nico. You know, there's such a bond that's developed, especially because of the Florida link. That's like, I want to see the fight because it would be awesome. They'll beat the crap out of each other, and we're going to win as fans. But then I don't want to have to see one of my friends lose a fight. Yeah. And unfortunately, in this instance, just like with you and Luis, with you and Jim, I got to watch one of my friends lose a fight. You know, my only hope is it goes 5 rounds and it's a fucking draw and you have to do it all over again. No, my heart won't be able to take that. Somebody's got to win, please. Hey, listen, before you go, if you want to give people your social media and, you know, let them know how to keep up with you and follow you. And if you got any messages you want to throw out there to anybody, including Jim, you know, the time is yours.
Yeah, man. So first of all, thank you for having me once again in your show, man. You're awesome. You know, all the years, you know, it really puts the, you know, the energy together, you know. And yeah, my social media handles is Luis, Luis. Some people write Luis like a Lewis, like a with a Weis. No, Luis, Luis, Baboon, Baboon. In Instagram, I don't use much Twitter. And you can follow my fan page on Facebook, Luis Baboon Palomino.
And guys, if you see on the bottom of the screen, it's scrolling across, spelled properly, I might add, because that's what I do. So that's how you find
my sponsors. I have a lot of sponsors, but I'm gonna name the ones that go on my shorts because they're the ones paying the big moolah, man. You know, they're taking good care of me. And you know, Chris, you know this, man. Us fighters, you know, it's very hard to focus in your camp. You know, Miami lifestyle is very expensive, and you know, when you have your business going on and, you know, your job and whatnot,
Sure.
you know, when those sponsors step up and take care of you, they allow you that 100% focus on the task at hand. And gym is a tough task. So I want to thank FYI Yachts, Florida Yacht International, Fusion CBD, Divino Ceviche, 1-800-INJURED, Carbon Fiber Music, Gorilla Barbers, Bonell Marine, and my gyms, of course. Oh, Sativa. Of course, Sativa's been doing an amazing job with me. And my gyms, my 3 trainers, you know, Dino Spencer from the world's famous Fish Street Gym, Eric El Tigre Castaños, everybody knows who that is. That's my striking coach for the last 5 years. Dino and I started working before I signed with Bare Knuckle, so he's been since the beginning of Bare Knuckle with me. Tigre for the last 5 years with Young Tigers Foundation. And of course, the last 5 years I've also worked with Amner Pareda from the Workout Spot in the Grove, my strength and conditioning coach, the man that turned this fighter into an actual athlete, man. You know, his knowledge,
Nice.
it's amazing. And I couldn't be doing it with a team like that, you know.
Well, that's awesome, man. That's a lot of people to think, man. There's a lot of people that there's a lot of involvement with people to make sure that that Baboon Palomino train rolls on smoothly. And that's got to feel good.
Joward Therapeutics. Joward Therapeutics, man. Chris and the family from Joward Therapeutics, they've been taking care of me. You know, hey, we're fighters. We break something, they fix it. We mess something up, they fix it. And that's the way we keep rolling all the way to the fight. So Joward Therapeutics, 100%, man. Thank you.
That's awesome, man. Well, listen, man, it's good to see the support that you have in your corner. Did you forget anybody else?
No. I mean, I can go on, but, you know, those are the people that
I know you could, man. I mean, we could do like, you know, well, that's, you know, and with my show, it's good that you're the final guest. So this way, you know, the other guests didn't get cut too far because, you know, we could just sit here and I could just let you do it for an hour. You got sponsors for an hour, run them all off, man. That'd be fucking funny. I'd just be sitting there going, wow, that's a lot of sponsorship, man. Okay. But listen, from the bottom of my heart, man, I'm happy for your success. I'm happy that you found this and it found you at the right time. You know, I think things happen in life for a reason and they happen when they're supposed to. So, you know, this fight, I guess it was destined to happen, you know, so that's the way it is. Good luck to you. You know, as I said to Jim, good luck to Jim. Good luck to you. I wish you both the best. Sorry that one of you are going to have to lose. You know, I said that to Jim last night too. It's like, I feel bad for, you know, the whole thing, but I feel good because I know we're going to get treated to an awesome display of both unbridled violence and technical prowess, because both of you guys know how to do this, you know. So it's not just going to be a wild, you know, it's not just going to be a wild fight. That's the thing people don't understand. There's a technique with this, and you know we have to implement stuff. But you guys have both shown, even with your 2, but over the years with your striking and seeing Jim how he's adapted to this, you both have a great understanding of how you use the clinch to your advantage in a fight. You're both willing to stand on the line. And for that, you know, again, thank you in advance because I know we got to get a show. So that's it. So listen, enjoy the rest of your night. It's Friday. You know, do what you got to do. Relax. Take a ice bath. Take an Epsom salt bath. Whatever it is to make you feel better. You know, 2 weeks away, so don't have any cocktails. You know, be good.
Yeah, I'm good. Definitely.
All right, man. I'll talk to you soon, Luis. Thank you. And again, God bless and good luck.
Thank you, man. God bless.
Peace. Guys, that was Luis Baboon Palomino. The second half of our show tonight of Championship Friday. We first spoke with Joey Beltran, the heavyweight champion at Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Don't forget BKFC 14 takes place November 13th in Miami, Florida, live from the Intercontinental Hotel. If you can't be there because you don't live anywhere near there or they're out of tickets because it's, you know, again, limited capacity, download the app, www.bktvapp.com. Get it, subscribe, $3.99 a month, watch fights. There's nothing other because you can use my name, Christopher Roth, Christopher, and then Roth, R-O-T-H. Use that as your code when you sign in and when you sign up and register. And I don't even know why I do that, but they tell me to do it, so I do it. You know, who knows? Maybe I make 15 cents or something. I don't know, man. But whatever, you know, or don't use my code. It doesn't matter to me, man. Just get the app. That's the only thing I care about. That's it. Don't forget UFC tomorrow. Enjoy it. I'm sad that Courtney Casey's off the card because her opponent missed weight. They were going to actually bump into a bantamweight fight from featherweight or from flyweight, excuse me. And they got that agreed to. And then the opponent slipped in the bathtub and banged her head and concussed and all that. So now that fight's off. Courtney was training hard and she was on a good roll this year. So hopefully they'll get her in again before the end of the year. That's it. I got to go. It's Friday night and it's the rare night where I'm not at the club. So I'm going to hang out with my wife, maybe go to the drive-in, see a show. Until next time, thanks so much for being a part of my life today and you guys allowing me to be a part of yours. As always, I will never truly be able to express in words what that really means. Until next time, I am Christopher James, and you, ladies and gentlemen, you all have been Cage Side. Good night.
What happens if you lose, Nick?
Who the hell is Aquaman?
I get Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, I get sausage biscuits. Maybe you guys will see a little footage of that later on because we got some good stuff.
Philip the Deuces. There you go, baby.